Hey, Sean. Thanks for your work in week 4. Wanted to give you just a quick reply here by video, highlight a couple things. First of all, in this second forum, I really love how you've focused critically on this question of perception and how the sort of breakdown of perception is not limited to authorities or people that aren't following Jesus, but is also present in the people who are the closest to him and are with him every day, seeing what he's doing, etc. And you, I think, wisely saw that as the gospel teaching us a sort of self-examination or discipleship as ongoing self-discipline, self-scrutiny. And I think that's something that we want to sort of emphasize in our roles as teachers among the people of God, rather than assuming that as Christians, we sort of have Jesus figured out and have perception that's reliable of Jesus or of God's revelation. So we could push that a little farther and ask, what is it that leads to the breakdown in perception, and what kinds of things should we be alert to as we're examining our own perception of Jesus? But I think you've got a great start with what you've highlighted here. I think that's all I was going to say. Oh, I love the way you're tracing the power of Jesus, and I think you're right. There's no like abrupt transition in this sequence of the narrative, where Jesus kind of switches plans or switches programs, but instead, the power that is sort of flowing through Jesus is spilling all the time. And this is similar to what has happened in past generations of God's revelation. And so I don't think that Jesus ever sort of turns to the Gentiles because the Jews have rejected him, for example, or something along those lines. Maybe the one caveat to that would be I do think that there's a clear movement at the end of chapter 9 when Jesus observes how the current shepherds or authorities of the people are leading them poorly, neglecting them, not caring for them, the move to appoint 12 of his disciples as apostles that will lead his people into the future that God has called for them. Even if they're going to do that in ways that, like you have said, are not totally reliable, commit errors, are sometimes unfaithful, misperceive Jesus, and yet, this is how Jesus is going to guide his people is through shepherds that themselves are not self-righteous, you might say, in the presentation we get in the Gospels, but manifestly sort of um, imperfect, struggling. And this is how Jesus is made known through them. And as you say rightly, he gives his power to these people. So uh, that's just on this one. I think that I just want to make a brief comment on what you said in the first forum. I think you got some good responses to both questions. I just wanted to urge you to also kind of expand the scope of who Jesus is revealed to be on the stormy sea in Matthew 8, because I think if we see that seen by the light of Daniel 7, we should recognize that Jesus's power is geopolitical in scope. The revelation of that Son of Man or future of the human, heir of humanity in Daniel 7 actually brings down, destroys the Gentile kingdoms that have been oppressing the people of God. And so I think we want to sort of press into how it is that Jesus's power breaks down corrupt, overreaching, maybe even imperial power in our world and how it gives power to the future of the human that follows the pattern of this Son of Man. And we're going to see that figure sort of grow as Jesus begins to talk more about this Son of Man and how he is embodying its direction in his generation and beyond. So great work. Thanks for just the careful attention to the text, and looking forward to more in week 5.